Today I'm going to install the drive shaft seal into the Eclipse. As you know, that was leaking, and yeah, so I didn't know where it was leaking from, and actually it was leaking from the shaft, the axle, and then the thing was spinning and coming all the way up. It was pretty hard to figure it out where it was coming from until I figured it out. So we're gonna replace this guy. And one thing, just so you are aware, there's the auto one, and this is the manual. So this is the manual for T350 transmission, which is this guy here. I don't know which transmission you might have, but the automatic is different. I bought the auto one, and of course when I was trying to put in the car, it didn't work. One thing is, I have this bearing laying around. It is new, but I don't want to use it, so I am going to hammer in there. But usually you need either the tool to put in here, so you're gonna put, and this goes like this in the car, you put it in there, and you need a tool, something that goes on the back of it, and this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put this in here and then hammer this guy in, and that's gonna be enough for us. So let's do it. So we are going to take the axle out, which is going to involve a lot of work, and I've been procrastinating, but I want to ride the car again. So we're going to take this cotter pin out of here, take it out, take this nut out of the way. Okay, so this here is just like a safety, so this bolt doesn't just get out of here with the vibration and all that stuff. So it's not like a hard metal or anything. I have a box full of cotter pins. I can just get a new one and put in there. Yeah, we got that. I'm not too concerned if I cannot reuse it. There you go. It came out. Probably I'll be able to reuse, and it's pretty new, so I'm not too concerned, but you know, if you can replace it, do it. This is a 32 millimeter. It might be a little smaller. I can see we gotta put this in here. There you go. I'm gonna anchor this. Dang, someone gotta hold the steering wheel for me, because this is stuff. There you go. Woof. This usually is way harder than that. It was just this easy because I've done this before, of course, when I put the engine in the car. So one more thing, I have a video already of me taking the axle out of the car and then putting the seal. But it's mostly taking the axle. I also needed to take the strut because I was putting the coilovers, right? Now I don't need to take the strut. So what I'm gonna do, and this was someone made a comment on my video, take the lower control arm and then I'm done. So in one of my cars I had the lower control arm braking twice and my wheels actually came out. So I think that's gonna work. What I'm gonna do is, this is part of the one side of the lower control arm, which is a 17 millimeter in here, and there's two more bolts here which are going to hold this one side here. This is a little bigger, I think. Oh no, it's 17 millimeter also. So I'm gonna take those two and drop this lower control arm. I could also only take those two in here, but the problem in here is I cannot quite put a socket in there. I don't even know if you can tell, because of the CV axle. And you know, using one of those here, I don't know, I'm just I feel more comfortable removing from there, from that side, and dropping all of this and let it come free out than taking this part here. This would be much easier, but I don't want to mess with that unless I'm ready to replace those nuts and the boots. So yeah, let's do it. Let's see what happens. Alright, so those are the two other ones. I'm gonna take this and that, and yep, just gonna loosen those. This here should go down. Where is it? This guy here. Where are we? And all of this should come out. So I'm gonna do that with a 15mm. I'm gonna take this sway bar. It came out here. You gotta use one wrench on the inside and a 15mm outside. There you go. And this is out. Gonna get out of the way just in case it goes down or something. But yeah, you can definitely force it out. But now I have my steering rack in the way, which I don't want to fight with. 17mm. There's a cotter pin. Yep, there you go. There you go. Ouch. Now, there you go. Alright, so whoever the person was, it was right. It's just like that one bolt doesn't work. As you see here, I took the sway bar because it was stuck. I took the power steering rack and I took the lower control arm. I didn't need to take brakes or knuckles or nothing, and it is free. There you go, free to go whatever I want here. I can get, I'm just gonna be careful because I don't want this to fall down on my oil lines there. But yeah, there you go. This is right here. I'm gonna support this with something so it doesn't fall down. As I don't know if you can see, but my oil sandwich is right down there, and as it falls, it's gonna fall and force right in there, and nobody wants that. So, and I don't want it to go anywhere with this drive shaft anyway. So a little bungee cord, I don't think I have one, but I have actual string like this, so I don't need anything more than that. I'm gonna leave it like this. Let's go inside and push it now. Alright, so we got some oil leaking, which is great, which means we still had oil in there. So since I'm gonna replace the whole bunch of oil, I'm gonna get that little bolt down there and I'm gonna untighten this. I have extension here, and I'm gonna open that guy, let the oil drip. Alright, so I ended up putting a screwdriver, and as you see, damaging this because it wasn't coming out. And this here came out first, which is what keeps this rubber here together. And I mean, you cannot quite tell what is the difference. So be sure to take your oil to the recycle place. This is definitely not recyclable, and what I mean take it to the recycle place means that they are going to dispose it properly. Let me see. Okay, I'm gonna try to show you really quick. I used this V-band, which was a 2-inch here V-band. You see there's a big hole in the middle, so I used this hole on my advantage, so it would get the sides here, and I hammer the sides, and this end up driving in. It sucks because when you hammer, one side comes out, the other one comes in, so you gotta keep persisting, and it actually works. So yeah, everything is pretty flush, good. Now I'm gonna get this drive shaft here, this axle, not drive shaft, and I'm gonna push in there carefully so I don't damage the piece of rubber that is in there. So you can see from here, I hope you can see from the bottom also, but as far as I remember, it is a pain in the butt because there's a lot of wiggling, and yeah. So my main thing here is I need to be sure that this goes right in the center. Yep, like that. And now somehow I gotta start wiggling all of this, and it should go right there. Oh yes, nice. All right, so I guess we made it. All right, so you see the seal, see that little rubber, the black rubber inside. I'm going to put an arrow right here. That part needs to be the way it is. You see that the black part is like hugging the shaft, the axle, right? And let me see here, right there. And that's how it's supposed to be. When I first put it in there, one part was folded, which means it was going to leak, and I think that was my first problem. I just couldn't see it, so yeah, no good. Now that's good. To complete everything, we are going to get this part here done, and this shouldn't be a problem. We did this before, and actually it was a very good tip that I got from one of my subscribers to remove the lower control arm part. I didn't take too much stuff. I think taking the caliper and all that stuff is way harder than taking just the bolts I took. So technically now I just put the bolts, tighten them, and good to go. So first of all, we need to get our shaft here, our axle, and I'm gonna push this guy out. It's all loose, as you can see, and put in the middle. Not hard, huh? And done. Boom, all in. Okay, so the bolt goes in here through this hole down there and up. If you have a jack, of course, it's much simpler because you just help it jack it up. All right. All right. You went through. Now on the other side is just one washer, one nut. This one now, I just put the lower control arm in place, and here the sway bar is next. Just gotta push down a little. There you go. And put this in there. We gotta tighten everything. Then we have the rack and pinion right here in our face. This guy, it goes right down. So since we are down here, I'm gonna tighten the power steering rack. Okay, so this doesn't quite matter how tight it is. Of course it gotta be tight, but it's more important for your cotter pin to align. And there you go. There you go. So cotter pin is there. I going to open the sides and good to roll. You don't want this to fail ever. That's there. Now I'm gonna tighten the sway bar, which is this up here. So we're gonna get a 17 millimeter. We're gonna put right between the boot, rubber boot, and the here the shocks, just the mount, and then see it's moving, which means you need that guy to tighten. And there you go. So we have here a 19 millimeter, and on the other side is a 17 millimeter, just to hold the nut. And we're gonna tighten, and I'm gonna use a breaker bar just to get it where I want. This goes in here. There are two holes, one here and one here. One is the larger, the other one is the shorter. And that's pretty much it. If I remember correctly, the larger is that one, and this is the shorter. But I'll need to try. And this, to align properly in there, we just need to turn this steering wheel, and this is gonna go there very good. So I'm gonna do that. Don't need to show tightening two bolts, and come back right soon. And that's it, guys. Everything in place. I'm not gonna put the wheels yet. The one wheel that I took it off, because I have the exhaust down there, as you see. It's a new one, and I am waiting on my gas for my TIG weld to get recharged, so I can play with this and see if I can do it myself. And that's pretty much it. So do not forget to subscribe and hit the little bell button. I have a little a new series of videos, which is I'm gonna call seasons, and it's gonna be season 1, 2, 3, 4, and you know, episode 1, 2, 3, whatever number I decide as I go. There is a new car coming. I almost said which car it was. It's arriving tomorrow in America, and it should be free for me to pick it up in a week or so. So that's going to be part of the seasons also. And that's pretty much it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this helped somehow. Thank you, subscriber, to tell me to free up the lower control arm instead of taking the whole everything. I did it first time because I needed to change the shocks anyway. But yeah, this was way easier, and I really appreciate your help. And I'll catch you later.
Look past my face. See status. I mean, it's a McDonald's.